All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
the Big Mig.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, making America great again. George Ballantyne, Lance Migliaccio, tip of the spear. You know how we do it on this show, of course. Each and every single episode is all about educating and unifying the country. What we do, bringing you the truth. Hopefully did the research so you don't have to. George, what's up, brother?
Adjusting my camera. I'll be right there.
All right. Well, George is making a little last-minute adjustment.
There we go.
Of course. Hey, back. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? It's Friday. Not that it really means anything for me, but it's Friday. Uh-oh, he's coughing. He hit the mute button.
Yeah.
You good, bro?
You got choked a little bit on a little bit of coffee.
Yeah.
Went down the wrong pipe. Of course, we've been at it since 7 a.m., so you can understand 3-4 cups of coffee. We're all the way in. You know what this show's all about. If liberty means anything at all, it means right, tell people what they do not want to hear. So listen, as always, hopefully you guys got a big weekend coming up. We're heading towards the end of our week, which is always great. But before we move on, don't forget, smash that follow button. If you can do the $5 subscription, thank you. You can. We know it's a tough economy. Do what you can. Rumble Rant tips, always appreciated because, of course, we've always got a nut to cover on this show, as all the other shows do. Same thing. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, you can hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. That's info@thebigmig.com. Of course, the Prepper Bar. Yep, this is one of our sponsors. George and I love our gold and silver, the 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated and very easily broken down to your choice of 3 separate denominations to fit a multitude of needs. You can just break off a small piece to make a payment. You can see there's a small, a medium, and large on there. If your credit cards aren't working, maybe if the U.S. dollar is tanked, $40 trillion in debt, spending still going on, and no real solution that I can see. And it doesn't matter whether it's for asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or its very unique utility for barter and trade. The Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all those precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively mined and minted in the great US of A. Always selling out fast. Like I said, comes with an assay report. You don't have to worry about any counterfeit gold coming out of Genesis Gold Group. They've got all the goods, and of course, they've been doing this for decades. They're available in gold and silver. They're in stock right now. Head over to thebigmigbar.com or call 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154, thebigmigbar.com.
Did we check those new promo codes yet, or?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Did you say anything to anybody?
To you? Yeah, I sent
On the
it to
show
you.
just now. Did you give it to...
No. I didn't check them all. I sent you all the info so you could check out the details.
Why did you check it? You got a computer?
I was a little busy. I was up at 4 a.m. taking an AI class overseas. So between that and the show and everything else, a lot going on.
Hold on, I'm going to check it right now. Just go.
All right. Well, listen, it's pretty disgusting what's going on in Congress. You've seen some of the exposure across Swalwell's in everybody's crosshairs. Listen, he's a piece of shit. There's no doubt about it.
Hold on, Lance. So, new promo codes for the Prepper Bars. So, you get 10% off the silver bar if you use Big Mig Silver and 5% off the gold products with Big Mig Gold.
Okay.
That's
I also noticed the website. We need to double check it because they might have had a redirect. They did.
I used the bigmigbar.com. It worked.
Okay. All right, great.
So, it probably
All
does
right.
redirect.
So these people in Congress, they feel like they're above the law. They think you should pay for all their impropriety, bunch of pervs and, creepers. It sounds like some of them are rapists. Who knows what they are. Lots and lots of details coming out. Of course, they didn't want you to be disclosed. Both sides of the aisle voted to hide the payouts from this slush fund that you paid for. They passed a law for it. And this is the problem, right? These guys think they're above the law. They think they can do whatever they want because they've been getting away with it. And it's really our fault. It's really the American public's fault. We have installed a lot of these politicians. And honestly, they're trash. But listen, we're going to go into that in detail here in a minute. But before we jump in, it's tax time. Nobody likes taxes. Most people don't give a flying shit about it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to keep going on and on and on and on and on. But of course, if you're looking for an accountant, sometimes you have to make a decision of what accountants you should use and which ones you shouldn't. And I'm going to say that if you're using these guys, you're definitely getting audited. There's no doubt. There is an audit in your future. George is laughing already. And this is for real. This is not a joke. This is an actual firm.
Yeah, this is real. Crazy.
All right, let's play the clip.
Come and file your taxes. Come and file your taxes. You know you want that cash advance. You want that cash advance. You better file. Hey, 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 hey. File. Hey, 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 hey. Come to Boss Up. We gonna hook you up. We gonna make sure you get that max refund. You got a couple kids and you a single baby mom. Don't worry about it, little girl. That's my job. Come and file your taxes. Come and file your taxes. Come and file your taxes. You know you want that cash advance. Same day approval. You want that cash advance. You better file.
Yeah, no.
You better file. You want that cash advance. Oh,
That's
yeah.
Pretty,
There's an audit in your future if you're using those guys.
an order in your future, or you might get screwed on taxes. Well, you know what?
Or if you're single baby's mama,
Because he wants to make as much money as he can, so he's going to try to finagle and get you as much tax money back. Yeah, no, not doing it.
Yeah. Well, that phone number's there if you guys want to call. All right. Congress Creeps. $18 million sex slush fund exposed. Yep. They want you to do everything that you're supposed to do, right? They want to track your Venmo payments and your Zelle payments, and they want you to pay taxes on every single dollar. So what can they do? So they can give it away at USAID, so they can steal it with the 14 magic money computers, and so they can pay off sex scandals, right? Anytime there are something like that happens, of course, this is a sex slush fund. It's been going on since 97. The Office of Congressional Workplace Rights has quietly paid out over $18.2 million of hard-earned tax dollars to bury hundreds of sexual harassment, groping, assaults, and Me Too claims involving members of Congress, Capitol Police, the architect of the Capitol, and the Library of Congress. So, of course, while you're struggling to pay your bills, while you're paying these exorbitant rates at the pump, at the grocery store, these sleazy lawmakers use your money to make their victims disappear with secret settlements. And they put them all under NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. Then they vote to keep their own filthy names hidden. This isn't leadership. This isn't the brightest and the best. This is taxpayer-funded perverts protecting their racket. And I think it has to end now. I don't know what Donald Trump's doing with this. I know they voted against it, but I think it's time for an executive order. Enough of this bullshit. I mean, you just bankrolled $18 million plus in hush money payments for politicians' sexual deviance, their affairs, their assaults, and they just voted 357 to 65. So that tells you that it was both sides of the aisle to block full disclosure of who used the fund. The Congressional Page Program, if you guys remember, they used to have a bunch of high schoolers that would go in and they were pages for congressional members. They killed it after repeated sexual assaults on underage teens. These are kids 16 to 18 years old by powerful members of Congress. So these creeps get to buy silence instead of facing real accountability. George, how do you feel about this? And I want to stop with this for a minute, George. This law, George and I were shocked when we looked at the name of the law. When they passed it in 95, they called it the Congressional Accountability Act of 95. 2 USC 1415A. George, do you feel like there's anything accountable about having a slush fund to pay off when these guys want to perv out on people?
Absolutely not. And Lance, I don't think an executive order would do anything because Congress voted on it. It's like a law that they voted or whatever. So it'd be tough. But, you know, if there's any kind of payment involved, they should automatically come out who the perpetrator was. Like, who was this staff or whoever it is that was suing a rep, whether it be a congressperson or a senator or whoever. That should be made publicly known, and they should freaking lose their jobs automatically, because this is, well, if they're going to pay out a payment, that means they're guilty. If they're not guilty, they should fight it in court. But
do you like the title of the Congressional Office of the Accountability?
Here's the thing when it comes, here's the thing when it comes to Congress making laws for Congress, right? That's like saying the police is going to police themselves. You know, everybody's going to look out for their own. That's why you have internal affairs with the police. That's why the police don't like internal affairs. Well, the Congress, when it comes to any laws, raises, anything pertaining to Congress, they should not be allowed to police themselves and make laws for themselves, give themselves raises, none of that. We need to come up with a different entity for doing that. How about the American people? We should do.
Well, first of all, I'd like to change the name of the Congressional Accountability Act. I want to change it to the.
But there's no accountability.
I want to call it the Salacious Sex Scandals Cover-Up Congressional Creeps Sex Slush Fund. I want to change it to that. So that way, normally, here's the thing. Think about the fact that they voted to make sure you wouldn't find out. So you're taking normal workplace harassment laws on Congress, right? And they're forcing it. So if anybody at work got harassed, imagine these young kids that were getting groped up here. And then they funnel everything to the secret taxpayer-backed account, and it's got built-in anonymity and non-disclosure rules inside of it.
Yeah. So
explain that to me.
When you said they passed this law in 1995, right? And it was 357 to 65. I would like to know at 357 how many women that were senators in Congress voted, or Congress I should say, voted yes on this. And that tells you a lot about those women who ever voted yes.
Yeah. So whenever you guys think it's just it's the Democrats, no. You just saw this, 357, so that tells you there was a bunch of Republicans.
A lot of Republicans.
Yeah, so don't, get that out of your head. Forget this partisan politics crap, because it's crap. It's a big scam. Now, you think about this. These funds keep most of these victims' stories buried. We don't even know about the groping of the kids, these 16 to 18-year-old pages. That's why they killed the page program, because these congressional members couldn't keep their hands off these kids, right? They're hiding all this. Now, these are crimes. These are actual crimes. If they were prosecuted instead of covered up, these people could have gone and they could have filed criminal charges against these politicians. But instead, they said, oh, well, here, take this payoff, but now you can't disclose it. This is it. It's a full settlement. Blah. Think about the fact that they're covering up these crimes. Now, George, your girl here, I like what she had to say.
My girl?
Your girl.
Oh, Bobert. Did you sneak that one in? You did, you bastard.
Well, you were supposed to get it.
You didn't tell me. When did you put that in there?
Yesterday, we talked about it. I said, Bobert made a comment. Why don't you add some stuff to the story? And you said, okay, I'm going to add some stuff. I went in there this morning. Nada. You didn't add dick hop. Okay, you admit it. Is it true?
I didn't say I was going to get that one. You were going to get that one.
Did you say you were going to add stuff to the story?
I said I would have.
Did you? No, don't try to clean.
I wasn't necessarily going to get that one.
You know what? You should run for Congress with that shifty-ass answer you just gave me. George is going to run for Congress now. We're going to have him in Congress. Okay, listen. Lauren Boebert, she's hot. Now, I want to say something. A lot of people are like, oh, well, Boebert's got a lot to talk about. First of all, Boebert getting groped up in the movie theater, she was on a date, bro. She was single. She could do whatever she wants. And I'm not talking about personal life stuff here. This is congressional members assaulting people, their pages, their interns, and whoever else, and then it getting covered up. I'm not talking about Boebert and her personal life. So all those people out there talking that shit, listen, let me be clear. Congressional members are having sex. Some of them are like Swalwell. They're having sex outside of their marriage. I don't agree with that. Okay? But they are having sex. So let's just stop that right there. Here's Boebert. She's telling you what she thinks, and I agree with her.
yeah, go to church, find Jesus. Like, I mean, why is everybody so horny here?
Oh, yeah. So I've got a couple of the ones that came out. By the way, very few of them. I had to dig around to get these. Here's one for you. Representative Blake Farenthold, he was a Republican from Texas. Taxpayers shelled out $84,000 to settle a female staffer's sexual harassment claim after he allegedly filled the office with crude, sleazy behavior and unwanted advances. Here's another one. Representative John Conyers, Detroit, he's a Democrat from Michigan, secret settlement with a female staffer over repeated sexual misconduct and groping. He used office funds outside the official tally before resigning in disgrace. Representative Pat Meehan, Republican, Pennsylvania, settled with a former staffer he creepily called his soulmate after she complained about his unwanted advances. Taxpayer money helped sweep it under the rug. There's hundreds more hidden cases, dozens of sex harassment and discrimination claims, paid off quietly. This has been going on for over 20 years. Nearly 300,000 in sex-related settlements from member offices between 2003 and 2017 alone, with over 174,000 in one 4-year window. And of course, now you got Swalwell. Of course, he didn't get a chance to use the slush fund. And it looks like Tony Gonzalez, I mean, these are allegations right now, but he might be resigning over a staffer.
He is resigning. What do you mean might be?
Oh, he is? Okay, I didn't know.
He said he's resigning. I think he's already done because they took his name, him and Swalwell's names are off their offices.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So think about that recent vote. Think about how they voted. 357 members voted to not release this info. Now, how many Republicans were there, George?
That voted?
That voted to not release the information.
I don't know.
Just take a stab.
Probably at least 150.
175 and 182 Democrats. So just, almost even. So when people tell me, oh, it's the Democrats, it's not just the Democrats, it's the Republicans too. And listen, they canceled the Congressional Page program because of what I just told you. They claimed it was because it was too expensive and outdated. But there were decades of members sexually assaulting and exploiting underage pages, 16 to 18 years old. In 1983, the Page sex scandal, Representative Dan Crane and Jerry Studs had sex with 17-year-old pages.
Huh?
You know what the penalty was, George? They got censured.
They were 17 years old? Isn't that underage?
That is underage. That would make them pedophiles. You see any criminal charges get filed against them? No, they censured them in 1983. This was Dan Crane, the Republican, and Jerry Studs, the Democrat. 2006, Mark Foley, he's a Republican, sent explicit predatory messages to male pages, and then he resigned. Repeated groping, harassment, and power abuse incidents. George Soros came out and said that the program ended because young children were literally assaulted by members of Congress. You hear about any criminal charges, George, that the DOJ filed against congressional members for being pedophiles?
No, I know the DOJ is now opening investigations into Swalwell, though.
How about an opening investigation into this? What about all these pages that got assaulted? Any particular reason they didn't investigate these pedophiles in Congress?
Probably too late now, statute of limitations, unfortunately.
Yeah, they didn't clean house. They didn't arrest these guys or file charges. They just removed the vulnerable kids. They just said, oh, yeah, this is too difficult to program. No, it's because you guys couldn't keep your hands to yourself. You fucking perverts in Congress. But, this is technically legal, but the systemic secrecy, of course, and taxpayer-funded protection.
You know what's funny?
Protection racket,
you know what's crazy?
Really.
They remember George Santos. They expelled him from Congress because he lied during his campaign, right? But yet they don't expel these sexual predators. Make that make sense to me. Somebody in the chat. I'll wait. That.
On the books right now, there are many laws that would say that what they're doing is illegal. Now, remember, if they bring out a statute after the fact If you have one statute that was already issued and voted on, and you bring out a new statute and they're in conflict, it's usually the previous statute that sets the precedent. And they should go back and review the new statute and say, you know, we're not going to be able to do this because of this. 18 USC 1001 says false statements and reports or ethics filings. How is it not a false statement if you get caught sexually harassing staff members and then you hide it? 18 USC 1519, falsification of records to obstruct investigations. These all should have been criminal investigations, right? These are sexual assaults, predatory behavior, and pedophilia. 18 USC 3071, conspiracy to defraud the United States via misused public funds. Tell me, you guys, and let's just ask the chat, you guys feel like this is a misuse of public funds? When you file your taxes, do you ever get to check a box that says, yes, I'd like this to be used for a public sex slush fund for Congress? You get to check that box? Do they ask you, would you like to pay for Congress to hide their sexual depravity and their pedophilia? Yes, I'm going to check yes on my taxes. You guys ever get asked that? Probably not. 18 USC 666, misuse of federal funds for personal cover-up. That sure seems like what they're doing. How are they not all guilty of 18 USC 666? This isn't part of their job description, being a scumbag pervert. I don't think we hired him. When you voted for somebody, did you vote? Yes, I'm voting for Eric Swallow because I know he will be doing a lot of groping and he'll be trying to have a lot of sex with a lot of different people. That's why I'm voting for him. Let's make sex great again. I mean, what exactly is the reasoning here? And that's misuse of federal funds. And these laws were all on the books. Every one of these statutes, because I checked, were on the books prior to them passing that new law. How about violations of Title VII, Civil Rights Act, and the CAA itself? They're violating these people's civil rights. And this is an institutionalized congressional obstruction of justice. So my thing is, enough is enough. You ought to leave messages for every congressional member that you feel like leaving a message for today and tell them what a piece of shit they are. I'd leave them some of the nastiest messages and tell them, you're covering up with this sexual slush fund. How dare you? If they're the people in your state that voted, leave them a message. Let them know how you feel. George, how do you feel about all these pervs and all these scumbags in Congress getting away with this shit, and they're not even getting a slap on the wrist? Censure for having sex with a 17-year-old. You get a censure. You know what a censure is, right? It's worthless. It's like this. Oh, you were bad. Bad congressional member. Bad.
Well, what does it say about the other people in Congress that are co-signing this type of behavior? You have to ask.
Oh, yeah.
What are these people that have on them? What kind of, information they have on them that they're going to vote and, co-sign this bullshit? There has to be other corruption. I mean, why would any logical person want to vote to hide sexual predator behavior from a congressperson doing to staff or whoever? There has to be some kind of behavior that they did that they're trying to hide. Could be anything, something other allegedly illegally stuff. Doesn't have to be that, but or they're all
Everybody
complicit.
in this audience should demand full, immediate disclosure of every name, every settlement, and every sleazy, pervy detail. That fund should be abolished, and all these pervy congressional members, if they get into trouble, they should pay out of their own pockets. And all those credible cases should be immediately referred to prosecutors. And every member who voted to protect the creeps, I think they should immediately be removed because they're violating laws. So they passed a law so they could violate laws that were already on the books. For taxpayers, I don't ever remember agreeing to being their personal hush money ATM. I never agreed to cover up their sex crimes. And I think America deserves a Congress that serves the people, not one that's going to prey on staffers, pages, underage kids, and then buys their silence with cash. If this isn't the swamp, if this isn't when Donald Trump told me he was going to drain, I don't see any draining. I mean, I think the DOJ should immediately say, there's a question, take that law that Congress passed right to the Supreme Court and say, they passed this, but it violates 10 other laws. How is this even possible? And I'm telling you, the Supreme Court should overturn it. I don't know what can be done to overturn it. I don't know if you can do it by executive order. I'm not sure how you do it. But at the end of the day, when you pass a law so that you can break the law, to me, that's racketeering. It's concurrent criminal enterprise. It's a conspiracy. And you and us, we're getting screwed by this. This is bullshit.
If you look at Swalwell, right? Remember when he was running, trying to primary for president in 2019?
Yeah.
A liberal news outlet had this information on him, and because he didn't make the primaries, they let that story go. They could have helped expose this and save women from further abuse, but no, they just dropped the story. I wonder how much they got paid to drop the story. I wonder how much information did Swalwell promise to allegedly leak to this outlet for not putting that story out? Think about that. Making deals. But we're talking about
it's a cover up of crimes.
Luna came out yesterday. Rep Luna said they're gonna release the information about the other person in the room with Swalwell at the time, and she's saying it's Senator Gallego. So this should get interesting.
Uh-oh.
I want to see.
So what about the other one? Do we have any idea who the other person was across taking the video?
I don't know. We still haven't got that, or the blonde.
Or the blonde, which looked like a prostitute.
I mean,
we don't know
listen,
who she is.
I'm pretty sure there's people that are trying to interview or get a hold of the one girl that was on the bed with Swalwell. We all know who she is. Is it like her,
Yeah.
Let's see if she gives it up.
We'll have to see.
She's probably asking, you know what? She's probably asking for a payday to give up those names of the 3 people in that room.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which is shit. I mean, I don't blame her. Why not?
Well, they could subpoena her, then she'd have to give them up for free. But I'm sure that
they could just ask Swalwell, bring him in for questioning. We're running an investigation.
Taking the video.
No, who was the person on the bed next to you? The other guy. Who was the woman behind, standing in the kitchen?
Yeah. No,
all of them. Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Release it all. Give us the information. But I'm curious to see. I mean, you don't know for 100% certainty if that's Senator Gallego in there. But I'm pretty sure we're going to find out sooner rather than later. But the slush fund, they should get rid of it. No matter what, if you work for any type of Congress, you're a staffer, and they create an unsafe workplace, whether it be abuse or anything, they can just file a lawsuit against them. They don't need no secret slush fund to keep it all hush-hush. You just file a suit like everyday normal people do. But, I would say to these staffers, start recording shit on these Congress people if they're doing shit like that. Get them on camera. Expose them all.
I agree. You don't have to sell me on that idea. I love it.
I mean, it's our money. We have a right to know, don't we? Don't we have a right, people? Don't we have a right to know? Did Swalwell's wife file the divorce papers yet? Anybody see anything?
Yeah, but it's got to be coming.
I said by today. I don't know.
I mean, it just seems like nonstop more creepy details coming out. So
his wife is probably like, damn, now this motherfucker got to be in the house all day and he's got no job or nothing. Now I got to deal with him. Think about that. I wonder, did he hire a lawyer yet? Who's his lawyer? Does he have money for a lawyer?
No idea.
Interesting.
Heavy stuff, though.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Donald Trump. He comes out, says, we're going to get all the nuclear dust. I don't know what makes him think it's dust, but from Iran, and Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA. Enough is enough. I'm kind of shocked that he's throwing down the gauntlet with Israel, aren't you, George?
I think it's all theatrics because they had talks with Netanyahu and president of Lebanon. I mean, look, Lebanon's clearly just, Israel was bombing the buildings where there could be civilians in there. I get it. There's some terrorists in there, but you can't just kill the other people that are not doing anything wrong. It's just wrong. I'm all for getting rid of terrorists, but, with all technology and everything that they have, you can get rid of them. But if Lebanon's smart, they'll figure out a way to, get rid of these terrorists. Did you know that in the Constitution for Lebanon that the president has to be a Christian? A lot of people don't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, has to be a Christian. That's in the Constitution of Lebanon. So, but, you know, to making deals, I think Trump invited Netanyahu and the president of Lebanon to the White House to do talks, but at least there's a ceasefire there. That's a start. But then I guess Iran is getting, they're feeling the economic crisis of the blockade with our U.S. Navy, because now they declare the Strait of Hormuz completely open for the rest of the ceasefire. I mean, wasn't it pretty much open anyway because we had our blockade there. So, and Trump thanked him. This is all on posts on Truth Social and Twitter X. He thanked Iran for opening the Strait of Hormuz, whatever. But you said it right. Like one of the elements being negotiated, there's a 3-page peace plan with U.S. and Iran, is that U.S. would release $20 billion in frozen Iranian funds in return for Iran giving up its stockpile of enriched uranium. I'd like to see what else is in this 3-page peace plan. Is the regime going to be gone? If the regime is not going to be gone, and there's still allowed to be a regime, then none of this really matters. To me, it would be all
terrible
ways.
for the people if that's true, because they're still killing people.
Yep.
Yeah, not very good.
No.
All right, listen, got to take a short break here on the Big Mig Show. We're going to be dropping bombs. Far left Minnesota District Attorney announces felony assault charges against ICE agents. Yeah, sure. Makes a lot of sense, but of course, what do you expect from the far left? Stay tuned. We'll be right back with George Valentine, Lance Migliaccio, the Big Mig Show. While we're on the break, hit the follow button, take the live link, go share it on your social media and get a bunch more people over the show. And if you're here, get in the chat, man. Don't be shy. Come on in here. Let's hear from you.
We're done? Ready?
Yeah.
Move with them rock star dudes, now we rolling. Talk a lot, we all know you less.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we host Lance Migliaccio. Yours truly, George Ballantine. Made in America. Know it. All day, every day. Big Mig Mafia's in the chat. My mods, you're doing a beautiful job. I love you guys. Thank you for all the help you guys do. Lance and I truly, truly appreciate you all. But don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Like, follow, share. Come join the chat. Say hello if you can. And if you can subscribe for that $5 a month, it truly helps us out with overhead every little bit. And we truly appreciate your support any which way. So we love you, but Lance and I have something for you guys. We have the perfect solution for the people that can't watch their crypto 24/7. Talking about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday Americans. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This is sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but now it's available to you. And it's no surprise that this system was actually named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all at military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit bigmigcrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. It's finally giving access to Americans for the crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit bigmigcrypto.com today and you get up to $2,500 of free crypto. QR code's on the screen next to me. Take a screenshot, save it to your photo files. The link is in the chat and then under the more section of the video. We have it everywhere. You got you covered. When you get a chance, check it out. You can always make a call, reach out to them, and let them send you more information. All right. Once again, we're going back to Minnesota. You have this crazy far left district attorney in Minnesota. She's bringing felony assault charges against an ICE agent in Minneapolis, and she put out a warrant for his arrest. Now, what I don't get is felony assault charges. He pulled out his gun. Nobody got hurt. He didn't fire it or nothing, but he just pulled out his gun. How is that even considered felony assault charges? I don't know. I don't know what the freaking law is there. But it's stupid because, like Lance always says, they have absolute immunity, especially while working. It was something to do with a car pulling on the shoulder while the ICE agents were on the shoulder driving. Something shit like that. And then whatever, they finally moved and he pulled over next to him, pulled out his gun. I don't even know if he got out of the car. I don't even know. But you know what? If you're trying to impede them, you're a threat. And the way all this craziness is going on because Minnesota police didn't want to get involved in these protests and none of that. Can you blame the ICE agent? This is just a ploy from this freaking district attorney who's trying to make a name for herself. Probably wants to run for governor or some shit. Who knows? I don't know.
But she's another Soros-backed government official. And this is the problem. Where are the criminal charges against George Soros? You know, he's been funding all sorts of violent protests and violent events around the country. He's still walking around. George and Alexander, they're still funding all this crap They had 64 NGOs receiving money from USAID. Anybody see any criminal charges for financial conversion? No, he's still doing all his bullshit. And this is another one right here. Just like he funds all kinds of AGs and secretaries of state all around the nation. That's what he's doing. But until you get him out of there, man, you got to cut the head of that snake off. Soros needs to go to jail along with his son and never be let out. Yeah. So let's play the clip from this now. She looks, I got to be honest, man, she's looking like a fucking dyke.
No shit.
Looks like a dyke. I got to be honest.
Let me play it.
Angry dyke.
Today, our office has charged Gregory Donnell Morgan, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent, with 2 counts of second-degree assault. There is now a warrant for Mr. Morgan's arrest, which allows law enforcement to arrest him anywhere in the country. Before I address the details of this case, I want to take a moment to talk about the timeline and why a charging decision was reached earlier in this case than in the shooting of Julio Sosa Solis and the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. I know.
Yeah, screw herself.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Well, here's another one for you. Disgraced former Democrat mayor and Pride leader arrested again.
No.
In Texas on new child sex crime charges. 3 more victims stepped forward after initial grooming scandal. So this is the former Gettysburg Borough Mayor Chad Allen Carr, a Democrat who proudly led the local LGBTQ Pride organization. Just got arrested again for new horrifying child sex crime charges. Of course, Gateway Pundit already talked about this back in March. So here, this guy's a radical left-wing activist mayor. He resigned as mayor after just 3 months in office because he said it was something to do with some vague personal legal matters.
Right.
Days later, of course, it wasn't just vague personal legal matters. They arrested him on initial felony charges for allegedly grooming and sexually exploiting a minor he met through his community theater work. Yep, nothing like groping up a kid at community theater. Carr allegedly groomed this 16-year-old boy he met through high school musical productions in Gettysburg between 2011 and 2013. The victim is now an adult, reported that Carr solicited explicit photos, engaged in video sex acts via Skype, and shared his own nude images while pressuring the teen for more. Carr reportedly described the interactions as late-night talks. He was released on a $100,000 bond. And just a couple of weeks later, he's back in handcuffs, more creeping. Yep.
Now in Texas.
Government officials.
Yeah,
Let's play the clip.
It was in Texas. Yeah.
Creepy.
I'll have you go ahead and set the dog down.
I'm sorry, what?
Set the dog down.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Turn around. Place your hands behind your back.
They've got a warrant for Pennsylvania.
You got anything on you?
A warrant from Pennsylvania.
A warrant for what?
It's going to be a child case.
We're going to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Pennsylvania has issued a warrant for you for some reason.
Okay.
And we're just here to start.
Can you call the attorney?
I will.
Yeah, let them do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Lama, we're going
to... I wouldn't say anything when you said they got 3 new cases on it, okay? So,
okay.
If you want to tell them, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell your business to your
Yes,
parents.
sir.
You're a grown man.
I understand.
This is between you and them up there.
I understand.
If you want to talk to your parents, I suggest talk to your attorney about it. You can say to your parents whatever you want to tell them.
I understand.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Watch your head, watch your head. Good job. Yeah, and I pulled everything out of his pockets. All right. And it is going to lock up, so don't lean back too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder, he was on a $100,000 bail in Pennsylvania. Was he even allowed to leave the state, or isn't part of his bail to notify the bail agency or even whoever, the court, that he went to live in Texas? I think so.
No idea. But here we are, another creeper, All right. Here's kind of an interesting thing. So a guy in a garage in Naples.
Is this Naples, Florida, or Naples, Italy?
Naples, Italy.
All right. I just want to specify. Go ahead.
He is supposedly responsible for printing 27% of all fake euros in Europe.
In his garage.
And they're saying it was 11 million imperfect fakes from this secret lab. So one single guy, one garage, and one hidden printing empire. Italian police raided his house in Naples and discovered an industrial scale fake money factory. This wasn't some amateur color printer guy. He produced ultra realistic fakes in 20, these are the denominations, 20s, 50s, and 100s in euros. He was responsible, as they said, for over 27%. I guess these bills were so good that the banks were saying even the holograms were perfect. The European Central Bank admitted they looked so real that they couldn't really really separate the two. But of course, a lot of people are saying, well, Bitcoin's blockchain makes counterfeiting literally impossible. So fiat money is ridiculously easy to fake. That includes any fiat currency like the US dollar. They stormed the house in Naples and they found nothing unusual at first, but then they noticed a cabinet in the garage that didn't look quite right. Behind it, a homemade fake wall on rails that slid open with a secret electronic switch the guy built himself. And inside, a full-blown industrial production line with 31 digital printing machines running nonstop, plus tons of raw materials and equipment to age the bills so they would even feel real. I guess he'd already sold 8 million, circulated across Europe, and the police grabbed another 3 million that had just been printed. I guess 10 different countries were reporting his bills. I would guess it's a lot more than 11 million, but they probably don't want to admit that. Because the real question is, how much fake euros are in print? This guy was only responsible for 27% of the fakes. So that means there's a hell of a lot more of them. We got a video clip, pretty interesting. Let's play it.
There's no audio, guys.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, so there's the full size press he was using, man. It's crazy. Look how much was there.
Yeah. I wonder who dropped the dime on him.
I don't know. Maybe his competitors. Who knows? There's big sheets of the bills. I mean, pretty serious operation. Supposedly just one guy. I don't know if I'm buying that. Naples, big mafia center. So I don't know.
A hologram, huh?
Yeah, they said everything was pretty much perfect on the bills. When you read the stories, crazy.
All because he had a dumbass cabinet that looked suspicious, and then they found the wall. See, he went cheap on a cabinet, bro. Bad move. Number one, if you're going to do something like this or any kind of legal activity, never do anything at your house, man. This is where you got to get like another spot under a different fake name or something so it can't be traced to you. Do your printing over there or whatever you want to do. Nobody said criminals were smart. I mean, he was smart in making the stuff, not smart in how he's executing it, though. Dumbass.
Clearly knew what he was doing. I can't imagine it's that easy to counterfeit money, but I guess his were perfect.
No, it can't. No, it's definitely not easy.
All right. So just so we're clear on this show, we go after everybody. This person voted Republican in almost all the last elections. It's one accountant, and she stole $53 million from a tiny town over 20 years. And nobody even noticed until she took a vacation. So you got to ask yourself, how does one person steal 53 million from a small town and get away with it for 20 plus years?
How does a small town of 15,000 people even have that much money?
I don't know. Her name was Rita Crundwell. She was the comptroller of Dixon, Illinois, a quiet town, just 15,000 people. She opened a secret bank account called the Reserve Sewer Capital Development Account and spent the next 20 plus years transferring city funds into it while creating fake invoices to cover her tracks. She used the stolen money to become America's most successful quarter horse breeder. She owned, now listen to this. Here's where it's really suspicious, right? Everybody had to be looking at her lifestyle and going, how the hell is she living like this? She owned 400 horses. She owned multiple farms, a luxury motorhome worth $2.1 million, a custom bus. She won multiple world championships in quarter horse breeding, which I can't imagine that's very easy to do. It's a very expensive hobby. Why her town was cut to force firefighters and road repairs. So this now is the largest municipal fraud in U.S. history. And why did she get caught? She took a vacation, and a temporary person was in there and said there was some weird stuff they found. So she did this over 22 years, and I guess she was a very trusted city comptroller. But talk about building this empire with these horses and all the luxury assets. Let's play the clip. This is just crazy. I am sure there were a lot of people incredibly jealous of her.
This is why, even though you have a comptroller account is doing all that stuff, you still should have an outside agency audit your books every year just to keep shit from like this happening.
George, I'm going to bet if somebody did what you just recommended, there's stuff like this all over the country.
Or
just do a lifestyle audit.
Or
what could she been making working as a comptroller? 100 grand a year, 150 grand a year.
Or if you put it on the blockchain, solve that too. But let's play the video.
Yeah.
She admitted to stealing money from her hometown, yet Rita Crundwell didn't utter a word, not even an apology.
Excuse me.
As she left court today, the first time as a federal criminal.
Any idea why she wouldn't talk to us today and just apologize to the people of Dixon?
Can't answer any questions.
But the question of where that $53 million went was all around the 59-year-old. Horses, trailers, custom furniture, flat-screen TVs, a Florida vacation home. The best of the best, all paid for with taxpayer dollars. Taxpayers angry enough to show up and hear Crundwell say the word guilty.
I've known her all my life, and I worked with her face to face, and she lied and cheated to us, and I feel betrayed.
It's caused a lot of turmoil, a lot of hard feelings, a lot of, accusations.
I would really myself like to see some sign of remorse. I haven't seen it at all.
It should serve as a warning and hopefully a lesson.
Acting U.S. Attorney Gary Shapiro, alongside the FBI and United States Marshals, say Crundwell's master plan should have been caught sooner. And despite her seemingly honest image, even the generous hometown girl can tell a lie.
Public officials who manage their citizens' money need to trust if they must, but they need to verify. There was, as far as we can tell, no verification here.
Yeah.
She stole $2.5 million a year. She won dozens of world championships. She's had multiple properties, expensive vehicles, lavish jewelry, the $2 million motorhome. I mean, how could anybody not look? She was working for there. She didn't have an inheritance. How could they not look and think, how is she living like this on the state payroll? These people are
did she have all that right there in Illinois close by, or she had it like different areas where it's not so visible?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, good question.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is one of those things that I tell you, this one got caught, but I guarantee you there are thousands of these cases all over the United States.
You think they seized all her properties and horses because she's got a public defender for a lawyer?
Well, she's definitely losing all that stuff, all the proceeds. There's no doubt they're going to try to get money back, but I don't know how you could fix it. Can you imagine?
You're not that smart of an accountant.
How do you liquidate 400 horses? Can you imagine how complicated that is? You still got to feed them while you're waiting to. I don't know. Maybe
if she's got to get a public defender, and she's not that smart of an accountant because she didn't make any offshore accounts or shell companies to funnel money into account for rainy day or something. Because now you got a rainy day. I wonder how much time she's going to get.
No idea. But I'll tell you this: I would recommend that every state create their own Doge and start investigating everybody and look at lifestyle. Just start looking at lifestyle.
Man, the state's not going to do that because the state people are complicit. The governors and the people running the state all complicit. They waste so much freaking money.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, just by me alone, I got how many highways they've been working on for like 4 or 5 years. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of time it takes.
This is a big story. I don't know if it's true. It's John Solomon and Hannity, though. You'd think it's true. If this isn't a bombshell. You guys remember the bleach bit in the hammer? You remember old Hillary Clinton trying to cover up her tracks? Yeah, she took that program bleach bit and then she used a hammer and she destroyed drives because she didn't want to be investigated. We know she did stuff on those servers. Well, it sounds like after she wiped all that stuff, well, Looks like there's something explosive here. Hannity asked the sources. My understanding is those servers, copies of them exist, that we may have them. Solomon told him, yeah, they're looking at a foreign power that may have them because it was tracking a hacker back when Hillary had the server. They may have recovered the server. They're still validating them. Now, if this is true and Hillary Clinton's emails are going to come forward, I guarantee you we're going to find out some nasty stuff. Is some of it going to include Comet Pizza? Frazzle Drip? I have no idea how bad this is going to go.
Frazzle Drip.
That's why I said Frazzle Drip.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's play the clip for the audience. I can only hope this is true, George.
Her servers, when she had her servers, there had to have been a backup of that server somewhere. Usually they have a backup.
Sure that's what the bleach bit was for, George. It's probably to destroy everything. But, I mean, look, this could just expose the Clinton Foundation, a bunch of pay-to-play stuff, and who knows what other nefarious stuff.
I'm just curious, how come she never got charged for destroying evidence?
She didn't.
Even if, you know what, even if anything comes out about this, ain't nothing going to happen to her. GOP ain't got no balls. We can't even get indictments on so much shit.
The administration appears to have no balls.
I hate giving false hope to people. Well, let's play the clip.
Let me go back to the beginning, and then you're going to fill in the gaps. Sure. So, Hillary Clinton, top secret classified information on servers. Okay. And by the way, can you answer this question before I go any further?
Sure.
My understanding, my sources, which are nowhere deep and certain as yours, tell me that those servers, copies of them exist and that we may have them. Any truth to that?
Yeah, they're looking at a foreign power that may have, because it was looking at a hacker back in the time when Hillary had the server, may have recovered a large part of the evidence. Now, they're still validating them, so we don't know if that's real evidence or not. Whenever you get something from a foreign power, it's a tricky thing to validate. But that is one of the operations that are ongoing in the intelligence community right now. Whether they'll ultimately validate it, what they're looking for are the emails that were erased. A lot of those are believed to potentially be about the Clinton Foundation, maybe not about classified information, but about the grift that was going on there. And if those do get recovered, they could contribute to an ongoing criminal investigation about pay-to-play politics in the Obama era.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to validate it, because if does a foreign power have it, they'll come to fact. How do you know they didn't do anything to it? Add stuff to it. It's going to be a tough situation. I don't know.
Hey, there's a crazy breaking story, George. I'm just dumping it in an ocean right now. This is heavy duty. We got to let the audience know about this if this is true. I know we supposedly have a peace deal in place, but take a look at this. I'm putting the whole story in. Go ahead and start giving the audience the details.
So you have a Iran-linked terror cell claims radioactive drone attack on Israel embassy in London as police swarm park in hazmat suits. They say London woke up to a frightening security alert this morning. Police closed Kensington Gardens, the capital's premier royal parks. They're saying after an Iran-linked Islamic group posted a video claiming to have launched drones carrying radioactive and cancer-causing materials toward the nearby Israel embassy. So they got officers in full hazmat suits and gas masks descended on the area, joined by chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear teams. Oh my God, let's see. Did anything go on fire or anything?
Well, I think these drones.
So Metropolitan Police. Hold on. Metropolitan Police confirmed the Israel embassy was not attacked and staff remained safe. Counterterrorism policing is urgently investigating video's authenticity and any link to discarded items found in the park. So it could be an AI fake, Lance.
Could be. I don't know if it's true or not. Keep an eye on that.
Well, that's what the police are saying.
I would have to bet if it turns out to be fake, great. But if it turns out not to be fake, I'd say all bets are off on that peace agreement right now. Israel might go right back into bombing, Hezbollah. I wouldn't be surprised if this was any truth to this.
Why would Israel go back to bombing Hezbollah? This is Iran terror group, if it's true. Nothing to do with Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Isn't that what they just agreed to not do, is to bomb them?
But this is in London. They're talking about.
But if there's no peace agreement in place, don't you think they'll go back to right the way to doing what they're doing?
They have a ceasefire right now between Israel and Lebanon.
Yeah, but couldn't this just happened? Couldn't this be a violation?
But what has this got to do with that? No, Cam.
I disagree.
You don't. First of all, no.
For any excuse.
You don't. Yeah, but you don't know what terror group it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
There's a bunch of terror groups. Could be. What if it's the Houthis? Got nothing to do with Lebanon.
Guess we'll see what happens.
But I understand where you're coming from. Netanyahu used any excuse to start.
That's what I mean.
War and bombing again, just to keep away from his court case. Piece of shit. Take us out.
All right. Listen, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you. Of course, if you love the show, give us a thumbs up, a comment, a share, or subscribe. You do the $5 subscription, fantastic. If you'd like to sponsor the show, info@thebigmig.com. Rumble Rant tips, always appreciated. And even you can tip us in crypto if you want. Got the Rumble crypto wallet connected. We also got crypto wallets over on thebigmig.com. We love you guys. Have a great weekend if you don't catch it over at the radio show.
All right. Have a good weekend. It's Friday.
I might have to let it drop. Said gotta do hella big, had the money back again, like said had to do hella big, had the money.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.